Chad Hasty Show News Talk, KFYO. Right now, we turn our attention to the Texas Senate race. And interesting videos coming out last night from Project Veritas that allegedly shows these campaign workers for Beto O'Rourke, talking about how they're spending some campaign funds, it appears. And joining us to talk about these undercover videos that were done. I believe these are the 8th series of videos that have come out from Project Veritas. They've been targeting campaigns across the country, trying to expose some of the real feelings in these campaigns. And James O'Keefe, the founder and head of Project Veritas, joining us on the show today. James, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Great to be with you here. I'm actually in El Paso. We released this video last night showing these Beto O'Rourke officials and the campaign manager appearing to say that they're using campaign money to pay for the migrants coming from the caravan, Hondurans, and others buying them supplies and lying about the source of how they're documenting how they're spending this money.
Yeah, this is interesting because there's been a lot of with these caravans that are making their way towards the United States. There have been a lot of people asking, Are there funds being used from either leftist groups here in the U.S. or other groups throughout Central and South America helping to pay for this? If your reporting is accurate on this, this one is highly illegal for the Beto O'Rourke campaign, and two goes to show that you do have at least one leftist group, a campaign helping to fund these migrant caravans making their way towards the United States. Am I correct?
Well, our reporting is definitely accurate. Everything that you see in this video is what we heard and saw. And what these folks are saying, no one can find out about this. There's a lot of almost, arrogance here in this video about, how they told their campaign manager, and there are text messages to prove it. Everything you're seeing in this video is real.
Yeah,
and I hope you play some of the audio because it's pretty unbelievable stuff.
We've gone through some of the lines here, reading from some different pieces that have actually published this. I don't think you're going to get a lot of love from the mainstream media, James.
No, they don't like us, but not because of our techniques. They don't like us because of who we expose, and I think that this is what we do. If you're unfamiliar with our organization, we tend to investigate the sacred cows, the groups that the media does not want to investigate. Planned Parenthood, Acorn, a lot of the media, especially in Texas, has become, they're just in love with Beto, and that's fine. But we don't take positions on these individuals. We expose fraud. That's what we do, and I never characterize it. I just put them in their own words. So Jody Casey, the campaign manager, she's a very big deal. She runs the entire Beto campaign, told us in this video, this undercover video, to not worry about them using these campaign funds. Those are her words. Don't worry about using the campaign funds to pay for the migrants. And the other officials, a woman by the name of Reyes, a man by the name of Dominic, who are talking in this video about breaking the law and saying that nobody can find out about that. This is a very big story. This is a violation of Section 1000. It's a federal crime, and it's also an FEC violation. They say it in the video it's an FEC violation. It's a $50,000 fine. So, to answer your question, it's only a matter of time before the media does talk about it. They don't want to talk about it, but I think they'll be forced to, in due part, people such as yourself on the radio playing the clips.
Do you think how high? Obviously, you spoke with her, or tried to get the campaign manager to actually even go further. Didn't she decline to comment after you confronted her?
Well, after I confronted her, she said no comment. That was yesterday morning in El Paso. Yesterday afternoon in El Paso. However, in the undercover video, she does comment. She does say not to worry about using the money for campaign funds. And the other official, woman by the name of Reyes, who is a field organizer, is saying that she talked to Jody about it, and Jody, didn't mind or said it was okay. Some of the other officials talk about hiding how they're doing it. They're using prepaid debit cards to pay for the Migrant Caravan folks. And they're saying that particular method of how they do it, they did not tell the campaign manager. So they told the campaign manager they were doing it. They didn't tell her how. That's what we are reporting here, what these folks have told us. And everything you're seeing here is real.
Yeah.
We're willing to go under oath in a court of law to say that these videotapes are indeed real. They're not my characterization of what happened. They are what they said.
Visiting with James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, in one of the videos, the campaign workers are actually discussing with the person who was undercover for Project Veritas that what I guess they tried to cover this up by saying, hey, we can just say this is for block walking. This is for volunteers who are going to be out there, that we're going to be buying food for our workers. And that was, it seems to be, that was a cover for all of this.
Yes, it was, and they say that. They say that in the tape. If you look at the video, ProjectVeritasAction.com, that's trending. It's already got a couple million views. It's just barely the next morning after it's been released. On Twitter, it's going viral, and you'll see all these officials describing the manner and how they're covering up. They say, we can't tell anybody about this. They talk about how they're breaking the rules. And they even say there's no rules, and they say we no more playing Mr. Nice Guy. So what we're looking for is a response from Beto O'Rourke himself. This is his campaign manager. This is a $100 million operation they have, and there's a lot of money. And when it comes to money, when you're raising $100 million, I guess he's raised close to $100 million now.
Right.
That there's going to be corruption. There's going to be money that's used for illegal purposes, and this is what this video shows. And it's the campaign manager, Jody Casey. She's a very big deal, and we're looking for a response from Robert O'Rourke now. Well,
and you're not the only one. Senator Cruz, I'm sure you saw his tweet this morning. He called on the media to ask questions, and I'm sure he saw your video. And I
think he tweeted it. He tweeted something out. I'm not sure if you're referring to the tweet I saw, but it did say there are questions about whether or not the money is used for the caravan. It comes down to this: the mainstream media in Texas has to ask the campaign, and they're only going to do that if they're forced to. They're not going to want to do it for two reasons. They hate me, and for good reason. Because I've given the media a black eye, and we're doing their job for them. They don't like to get scooped. They don't like to have someone else break stories that they didn't break. And number two, they really like Beto O'Rourke. So the only way the media in Texas is going to ask him about it is if this bubbles up and blows up over the next 24 to 48 hours. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously you have a lot of experience with this. Would you be surprised if it did go higher than just Jody Casey knowing what was going on?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised by anything in my life. I've seen it all, and we've exposed it all. But I would say that I would say the thing to know is that Jody Casey talks to Beto all the time. Remember, this is not a low-level official. This is a campaign manager for a campaign that has become a phenomenon. So I would say, yes, she does talk to Beto, and they talk every day, and they talk constantly. And I think that the question becomes is, if this is something that they're doing, they should just say it. They should not hide it. That's our point. It's not even that I don't dislike charity in this world. I think that we applaud charity, and there's a possibility that some of these folks were in the country legally. I think that there are some of them were illegally entered from the caravan, and some of them are asylum seekers. They should just come out and say they did it, and especially after we've caught them. That's what we want them to do. We want Beto to come out and say, yes, we've done this, and I'm handling this. I've terminated Jody Casey. I'm making the following changes to the campaign. That's what Andrew Gillum did in Florida yesterday. He fired his staffer we caught on tape after he called the state a cracker state and said they were lying. And we want to see some consequences and some reactions from Beto O'Rourke himself.
Yeah. If they did admit to this, if the Beto O'Rourke campaign did admit to it, we're visiting with James O'Keefe with Project Veritas here on the Chad Hasty Show. If they admitted to this, wouldn't they? I mean, they would have to face fines, and I mean, it would be illegal what they did, correct?
It's a violation of Section 1001. I can't speak to the Texas laws. I can speak to the federal laws. And it's a violation of Section 1001 to lie on federal forms. And this is a candidate for federal office about the use of money. Now, again, I think it's fine that they're helping people. I think people need help. But you can't lie to do it. You cannot use campaign funds for charity. That is against the law. It's also a potential FEC violation, depending on how much money was spent. They're in the video saying they're using these prepaid, I guess, cards, prepaid like debit cards, and then they go buy supplies for the migrants coming from the caravan. And depending on how much we're talking about here, they did say that there are hundreds more coming. So I think that they're saying in these videos they're doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of time before law enforcement. I don't know if the Texas Attorney General has been notified, but someone should notify him.
Yeah.
So these guys have got to be asked questions under oath about this. And this is a breaking story. It's just broke. I'm sure there's going to be some things happen over the next few days.
Visiting with James O'Keefe. James, tell folks where they can go and view these videos and read your report on it as well.
Project Veritas Action. ProjectVeritasAction.com.
Very nice. And can we expect any more videos to come out between now and Election Day? Maybe not just towards the at the Beto O'Rourke campaign, but I know you've looked at other campaigns too.
We've been having videos come out every single day, and that's maybe we would like to space them out more, but we have to get all of the material out before Tuesday. So there'll be another one coming out tonight, and I would ask your listeners to tweet, Facebook, email. This is Beto O'Rourke. Using Beto O'Rourke and the migrants and campaign funds video to everyone they know. And
is there another Beto video coming out?
You have to stay tuned later today.
Oh, you're teasing us, James. You're teasing us. All right. James O'Keefe, we appreciate, we appreciate your reporting. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. And we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's James O'Keefe with Project Veritas. ProjectVeritasAction.com. Stay tuned, James says, for possibly more Beto videos.